Shakyamuni Buddha.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Lead them through 1 minute meditation, please.
Keep your back straight, your neck straight. Close your eyes. Inhale and exhale through the nose to count 1, and you keep going. If you lose track of your body, you start from 1 and don't chase your monkey mind.
Okay, good. Okay, one ready? Count 1, 2, 3, Caitlin Young.
1.
Show them the timer. Okay, count.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, finish. Ask them, please.
Alan?
Yeah.
Me? Okay, 24.
Anthony?
25.
That's all. Okay. All right. So, Alan, are you ready, Alan? Turn on the cam. Alan?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So concentrate, okay?
Okay.
Good.
During the Buddha's time, the Sakyan and Kolyan tribes lived on opposite sides of the Rohini River. They both used the river as a source of water to cultivate their crops and in their everyday lives. There was plenty of water and fish, and the two tribes made daily use of the river. However, in May and June, the water began to dry up. Both sides thought, "There's not enough water for both of our tribes to use." So, one side built a dam and claimed the water for themselves. The other clan was upset at this affront and said, "How dare you claim our river is yours?" Both sides gathered their armies and began threatening each other with violence. Neither side felt it could afford to give up its claim on the river. Each side felt that its survival and welfare relied on the water, and it could not do without it. Therefore, each side was willing to go to war over it. Each insult compounded the last, leading to stronger insults and threats, and eventually, war appeared imminent. The Buddha, in his infinite compassion, came to the river. Both kings immediately bowed to him and paid their respects. They told the Buddha about what had happened and how they could not reach a compromise. The Buddha then told them, "Strife among kinsfolk is unseemly. Even in the past, animals worked together to avoid certain death. However, When they allowed discord to enter their midst, utter destruction befell them. The kings, wishing to hear the story of the past, invited the Buddha to make clear that which only he could see. Once upon a time, the Bodhisattva was born as the leader of a group of thousands of quails. In those days, there was a quail hunter who hunted in that forest. He would set a net high in the trees and would imitate a quail's mating call to get the quails to come together. Once the quails gathered, he would release the net and capture the quails. The quails would all try to fly in different directions, but they all bumped into each other and caused havoc and injury. Thus, none of them were able to escape. The hunter was able to capture all the quails and take them home in order to prepare them to sell. The Bodhisattva quail saw how the hunter was able to capture so many of his kinsfolk and called a meeting of the quails. He said to them, "I have a method by which we can prevent the hunter from capturing us. We must work together to succeed. Through teamwork, we can overcome his trap and escape. If you find yourself in the net, do not panic. Each of us should put their head through a hole in the net. Then, we should all fly up in the same direction at the same time. Then, place the net on the high branches and then fly away from underneath the suspended net." The next day, a group of quails were caught in the hunter's net. However, instead of panicking, they looked to each other and said, "Let us follow the leader's plan." Each quail quickly poked their head through a hole, and then they all flew straight up at the same time. When the hunter came to gather his trap, he saw it hanging on a high branch. The quails had flown away safely from underneath it. Thus, the quails were able to perfect this method and avoid the hunter's nets for many days. However, the hunter was not discouraged. He told his wife, "Don't worry. Once the quails start bickering and fighting, they will lose their harmony and fall prey to me." And just as the hunter predicted, not too long after that, a quail accidentally stepped on another quail's head. This created arguments, and all the quails took sides. Some said, "It is only because of us that all are able to escape the nets." The others said, "You think you can do it yourself? Without us, you would be trapped." Each side emphasized its strengths while ignoring its faults, and thus, the quails could find no compromise. The Bodhisattva tried to get the two sides to calm down and be reasonable. However, they refused to listen to him. He knew that quarreling and bickering would not lead to a successful outcome. Instead, it would lead to mutually assured destruction. As long as each side thinks that it is right and the other side is wrong, and refuses to see fault in itself, no resolution can be made, and peace will be made impossible. The Bodhisattva then led his followers away. Not too long after that, the bickering quails found themselves caught in the net again. Instead of working together to escape, each side blamed the other for its mistakes and failings. Instead of focusing on their collective safety, each group of quails focused on winning the argument. The hunter was easily able to capture all the quails. And thus, the Buddha concluded the Chataka story. The two kings realized their mistakes and worked together to share the water. What did you learn from this story?
Okay, Alan, what did you learn from this story, Alan? Summarize the story, please.
So there are these people and they have like water and they use the water to drink from it, and they argued and the two kings fought, and they went to the Buddha, and she told them what so she said that there was a bird, and he was the leader, and there were birds, and one day there was a hunter, and the hunter trapped the birds and took them to sell at the market, and he came up with a strategy, and the leader said to poke your head out of the hole and fly, and they did that. But then one day they got into an argument where one bird stepped on the other's head. And then they got into an argument, and then they start like talking, like yelling at each other, and then they got caught, and they were arguing, and they didn't pay attention, and the hunter took the birds and sold it at the market, and the kings they stopped arguing and they worked together.
Okay. Oliva, what do you learn from this story, Oliva?
Like that if you fight, then you can like get hurt, like how the birds, since they were fighting and all the birds wanted to do was to win the argument, they got captured by the hunter.
No, I mean that's the moral. What do you learn from this?
Like not to have conflict.
Why is that? Why it's not good to have conflict with other people, especially your siblings?
Because then something bad can happen.
Give an example. What happened if something bad happened? What's that?
Since the birds were like fighting, they got captured from the hunter.
Caitlin Young, suppose us the thieves come into your house and you argue with your brother Justin, right? And so forth. So what happened then? If you don't work together to protect yourself, but you fight each other, what happened?
The thieves would maybe harm us or kill us and steal all of the things in our house.
Vivian, are you there, Vivian?
Yes.
Yes. What did you learn from this story?
From this story, I learned that you should always try to create harmony with the people around you, and it's only at if it's very necessary that you should create conflict.
Yeah. So again, what happened if you blame on your brothers and your brother blame on you that someone have stolen something instead of working together?
That means that we don't trust each other and we might both get in trouble.
No, not only in trouble. What happened then if you fight each other? Why the thieves come into your house and take the things from your house? What happened then?
You'll be too busy caring about whose fault it is rather than trying to keep yourself safe when a robber breaks in.
Alan, what happened if you try to fight with your brother Aaron when the thief come instead of find ways to run away from them? What happened, Alan?
If you don't like cooperate or stop arguing with your brother, then the thief might like steal your money or kill you. But if you like work together and hide, you might like be able to call the police or kill the chase him out of the house.
Wow, you're so smart. Yeah, Chok, you understand, Chok? What happened if you fight with your brothers? If someone come to your house to take away your properties, what happened, Chok? You stop working together. Chok?
Instead of fighting with my brother, we could like cooperate together so we don't get killed.
Okay. Ethan Đỗ, you follow? Ethan Đỗ?
No, I just got here.
You just got there? Okay. So Vivian, can you explain what happened with the story, Vivian?
Yeah.
Yes, can you explain what happened? What's the principle of this story? What's the moral of this story?
The moral of the story is to try to create as much harmony as possible, because when you break harmony, that means you might leave yourself and others in danger.
So Ethan, let's say if your teacher assign you group project, but somehow you guys fight each other in the group project, what happened in then? Ethan?
It will cause a lot of disarray, and honestly, our entire project will probably be ruined due to our lack of, I guess I would say just our overall like speech to one another.
And what happened if you think it's unfair? You do all the job and the other ones just play around and they get the credit. What happened then if you see that you don't want to hang around with that person or work together with that person, and if you don't, you may have a bad score too? What happened, Ethan? How can you solve that?
I could just basically resolve that by saying it's a group project and it depends on two people to do it together, not just one solo person doing it by themselves.
But what happened if they don't do much?
If they don't do it, I remember I was in this situation once. I had one of my teammates, like they weren't really doing anything, so I just forced them to do something.
So that's why it's better to choose your partner first, right? Of course, you can ask your teacher to change in whichever way, right? If you can, what happened then? Michelle, if you cannot change your partner, what should you do then?
I think you should either ask a older person or you could just figure another way out.
Turn on the cam, please. Anyway, so no matter what, try your best to work together. If it doesn't work out, you can find some ways. But no matter what, try to work out. Okay? Yeah. Thầy Giáo Pháp, please. Thầy Giáo Pháp.
Nam mô Di Phật, everyone. How are you, con?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Good. Okay, that's good, con. Okay. Yesterday I showed you the half of the movie, right? So I hope you remember. Olivia, did you remember what we see yesterday?
I think so.
You think so? Okay, let's see. Remember we watched about Sariputta and Magalana. They
yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, they left their old teacher, right? So they can come to see the Buddha. Okay.
they decided to consult with their master. Master, we've completed your entire course. Is there anything further you can teach us? Ah, my greatest students, you make me proud. There is nothing further to learn or teach. I invite you to join me as masters of this school. Together we will become famous and world-renowned. Master, that is not our goal. It seems that we must take our leave. Two men figured that if Sanjaya couldn't teach them, then someone else could. India was vast, and if they wandered far enough, they would find the right teacher. They decided to search independently, and promised that if one were to find the deathless, he would come back and inform the other. Upatisa began searching in Rajagaha. One day, Upatisa saw a monk walking on his alms round in Rajagaha. The monk was dignified and serene. He was calm and seemed to be in total control of himself. Upatisa thought, in my entire life, I have never met anyone with such a demeanor. He must be one of those arahants, or someone who is on the path to arahantship. I must question him. However, Upatisa came from an upstanding family and knew that it would be poor manners to interrupt the monk while he was on his alms round, or while he was partaking in his alms. So Upatisa followed the monk from a respectful distance and patiently waited for the right moment. Once the monk had finished his meal, Upatisa respectfully requested to clean the elder's bowl. After having done so, Upatisa exchanged greetings and asked, "Venerable sir, your features are serene. Your complexion is bright. Under whom have you gone forth? Who is your teacher, and what is his doctrine?" The venerable monk responded, "There is, friend, a great recluse, a scion of the Sakyas, who has gone forth into homelessness. I have gone forth under him, the Blessed One, the Buddha, and it is his Dhamma that I profess. Please, sir, what does your master teach?" "I am but a new monk, new to the training. It has not been long since I have gone forth. I cannot explain the Dhamma in detail to you. Please, sir, I am called Upatisa. Please tell me according to your ability, be it little or much. It will be my job to penetrate its meaning." In response, the elder Asachi said, "Of those things that arise from a cause, the Tathagata has told the cause, and also what their cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse." Upon hearing these 4 lines, Upatisa obtained the dust-free vision of the Dhamma. He saw a glimpse of the deathless. He obtained the fruit of Sotapanna, stream entry. The Venerable Asachi, knowing Upatisa had become enlightened, encouraged him to go seek out the Buddha. Upatisa said he would, but he had a promise to keep first. The two parted ways, and Upatisa went to find Kolita. Upon meeting, Kolita could see that something was different about Upatisa. He seemed to have a bright complexion and a glow. He knew his friend must have found the deathless. Once they had traded greetings, Upadhyasa told Kolita what he had learned from the Venerable Asachi. Those things that arise from a cause. The Tathagata has told the cause, and also what their cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse. And at the end, Kolita too was established firmly as a Sotapanna. They both desperately wanted to see the Lord Buddha. But one of the beautiful traits both men had was respect for those who had taught them or done favors for them in the past. They decided to go invite their teacher Sanjaya to join them in going to see the Buddha. Sanjaya was very happy to see them. My students, how was your journey? Master, we have found out that a genuine Buddha has arisen in our world. His disciples follow his doctrine and are on the right path. Let us go together and see him. Sanjaya became physically upset. Tried a tactic. My dear students, leave all that Buddha talk. I will appoint you co-masters and we can open new schools. Our schools will be the most famous in all the lands. Master, a Buddha appearing in the world is an amazing thing. And the fact that he is near and we can go see him and hear his doctrine is beyond lucky. Come with us, Master. Let us quickly go see him. No, I cannot do that. I am a teacher of many. If I were to revert back to a disciple, it would be as if a huge water tank were to change into a tiny pitcher. I cannot live as a disciple. Teacher, please abandon your ego. Abandon your pride. What does status mean if we cannot obtain the deathless? Please do not think like that. Come with us. You can go, both of you, but I will not. I cannot. But teacher.
All right. Olivia?
So from last time, the two men, they finished all their studies, and then they told their teacher that they wanted to learn more because they already had completed all of the courses. But then the master said that there was nothing left. There was nothing further for him to teach them. So then they parted ways to search for the place of the deathless. And then one day, one of the men encountered a monk, and then he asked to clean his bowl when he was done eating. And then he asked the monk who his teacher was, and the monk replied that he did the teachings of the Buddha. And then the man became enlightened, and then he went to tell his friend, and they were going to go see the Buddha because the Buddha had appeared on the world. And then they went to their master and asked if he wanted to go with them, but he said no because it would be like if he didn't want to go back to a disciple, because it would be like if he had a huge pitcher of water, a huge glass of water, and then it just became a tiny pitcher. And they tried to convince him more, but the monk didn't want to, or the master didn't want to, and he said.
What did you learn from this one?
Not from last time, to not the things that are impermanent, it cannot make you happy forever.
Okay. So there are a few things that we learned from here, but I don't have time to go too much. Okay. First of all, you learn the good thing is even though they found a way, and they always remember the friendship as well as the teacher. That's why they came back and they told the teacher but the teacher did not want to follow because his ego, right? So even though the Buddha world, but he would not be able to meet him and to learn from him. So that is the most terrible thing, right? Just like we nearby the wisdom one, but we cannot learn from him. Is that true? Okay. All right. Time is up. Okay. Who is the speaker of the house today?
Me.
Caitlin. Caitlin.
Aaron.
It's Caitlin.
No, my sis.
Okay, Caitlin, go ahead. Caitlin.
You should respect your tutor and keep your camera on and only unmute when the tutor asks you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Cô Lan.